What's up, Vintage World? Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, thanks for tuning in and welcome home. My name is Marcus, owner of Vintage Vibe Studios. I make digital assets for graphic designers so they can design more efficiently. Today I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to do a tribute to Dolly Parton. Number one, it's pushing my comfort zone because I don't normally do country or Western type themes. Number two, I wanted to see what a Dolly design would look like through the lens of like a 90s style bootleg tee design. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's get started. All right, so we wanted to do not the normal tribute. We want to do something different than the average tribute. So we're gonna do a tribute meets the 90s in Dolly Parton's honor. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I've already went ahead and cut out my images. So we're gonna go ahead and bring this one up first. I think we'll drop this right here. And I've got my main. I think we'll go ahead and drop this right over here. Or maybe right here. I've got one more. This one I thought, just the way she's kind of looking up, that was pretty good. So we'll put that one main center. We'll grab this right about there. We'll size this Dolly up right about here. Almost, she's got her hands almost like she's praying, which is, I think, it was accidentally pretty cool, but I think it's pretty slick. And we'll put this Dolly behind. That way we can get her hands. We'll size her up just a smidge. And then we'll grab this one, size this up, be able to drop this down so we're kind of covered here. So that's pretty much my composition. I'll zoom in here a little bit and you'll see this is part of her microphone and we got to get rid of that. So what I could do is I could go ahead and jump in and do like a layer mask, but I don't want to do that. I want to do something a little different. Let's grab my remove tool. If you're into vintage design and Photoshop and how these old school t-shirts work, then that's what this channel is all about. Make sure you subscribe and hang around because we've got plenty more coming to you. Let's get back to the video. Get with my remove tool and we want to remove this part of the microphone. And all I'm going to do is circle around and get rid of that. If you don't know where the remove tool is, it is right here. So now you see that's gone. Now we're gonna create this layer mask because there's these little hairs around here that I don't necessarily like. Get my brush and I'm just gonna go over a couple of these little areas. So now we got our composition. Everything is pretty shaped the way I want it. Again, we're always working clean. So we're gonna group all of our images. Command and Control G. This is gonna be our photos, if I can spell. So now the next thing I wanna work on is my hierarchy, my typography. Just figure we're gonna keep it simple and we're gonna spell her name out. We'll change our foreground. Nice and simple, nothing too spectacular, but we're gonna do a little something with the name. And if you're wondering what font I'm using for the name, it is Eastwood. I'm gonna close this gap here. We're gonna go over to our kerning and let's go about 25, maybe even 100. That'll work. So now that we've got the name, I want to put an arch on that name and we're just gonna make it a little, give it a little flair. Easy way you can do that is you can click on like your little angles over here and this, whatever you wanna call it, icon, you can click on that and then come over to the top here to change what it actually does. And we're gonna go arc, I believe it's upper. Nope, I'm sorry, arc lower. And then we're gonna do a -15, I believe it is. Yep. The other way that you can find it is you can go into your edit and then come down to transform and warp. So now that we've done that, what I want to do is kind of size this pull that down, kind of rounding her head and the design itself. So I want to put a fade across the bottom here. I don't particularly like how it's so cut off and so sharp across the bottom. I want a little fade. So there's a couple of different ways that we could do that. I could grab each one of these and do them individually, but since I've already put them in a group, I'm just going to create a layer mask and I'm going to do a nice little gradient and fade that out. So let's grab our photos, double click on that, and we're gonna create this gradient. You can see right now I have it set at 180, which is not what I want. I'm gonna go 90, and then I'm gonna fade this out. I have my scale set at 10, but I'm gonna go about, let's go 15, and then fade this out here. You can see that I'm moving this just by holding my mouse with the amount of fade that I want. So we'll do that, and then we'll click one more. And I'm gonna do this one at 0 to fade out on the right side. I'm sorry, the left side. We'll do 180, and then I'll fade out this way. And that way my edges aren't so harsh and just kind of blocky. We don't want that. Now it's starting to come together, as you see. So the next thing we'll do is I want to add a bottom title here. I think I want to have something like a thank you. Let's just do a nice, easy, regular. We'll do that. As opposed to doing thank you, I want to do the dates. I think it was 1946. And I've got something that I'm gonna do toward the end to kind of really tie this all into that 90s bootleg style. Make sure you hang around because it's really what ties in that bootleg design to kind of set it off, set it apart. So we're not gonna leave the letters like it is. That's kind of boring, to be honest with you. So let's go ahead and throw a text style on there, and I'm actually going to change this around. So let's see what that other font looks like, that Doctrine. I think we're going to go with that. What do you think? I think that kind of fits the theme that I'm going with here. So let's see what that looks like. Let's run with that for a second, which means that I'm going to have to grab this and the date and make these, give myself a little more space. Got a little Western flair to it. Again, center that up, and let's go with that Doctrine. We're gonna add some text styles to this. So let's grab our top title. These will be our bottoms. Command and Control G to put those in a group. Now let's grab this. We'll double click on that layer. We'll go over to our layer styles, and let's see what I've got for my text styles here. I actually want to do, you know what? That actually doesn't look bad. That actually doesn't look bad. That's in my Vintage Vibes pop text styles. That actually works out really well. I wasn't planning on doing that, and it actually popped out really, really well. It's one of those happy mistakes, so we're gonna run with that. I think that's actually pretty good. I had something else in mind that I wanted to use, but for right now, we'll run with this. So we'll do that. Then I'm gonna copy that layer style. Work smarter, not harder, right? And then I'm gonna do the same thing for my bottom text. Let's see what that looks like. So let's paste that layer style. Yeah, we'll run with that. That's got a little Western flair for Dolly. We're gonna do the same thing, paste layer style, but we're gonna adjust these just a bit. I'm gonna zoom in here. Let's adjust my outer glow. Bring that down just a tad so it's not so overpowering. We're gonna do the exact same thing. I'm gonna copy this so I don't have to try to redo the whole thing. And then the same thing on the bottom here. There we go. That actually works out pretty freaking good. So I have one more element that I want to drop in before we get into how we're gonna tie this all together. And that is kind of what she's known for, is this butterfly. So if you've ever been to Dollywood, which I used to live in the Midwest, so Pigeon Forge, Cumberland Gap, Dollywood, all of those things were something that we kind of frequented, being from the Midwest. This is one of her butterflies that she's known for. And I believe something like this is actually on the entryway of Dollywood. I want to do something that kind of has a play on what she's known for. I want to kind of fill in these little negative spaces here with these butterflies. So I'm going to duplicate these, and I want to move one maybe over here. Size that down a bit, maybe give myself a little room right here, and then we'll grab another, and maybe over here we'll size that down as well. So with this one, I kind of want to flip it, so I'll go edit, transform, flip horizontal, and that way we got a little bit of motion, and then I'll just turn this one. So now I kind of want to make these fit my theme here. So I'm going to bring up my hue and saturation and kind of play around with that. And what I want to do is I want to get these close to what my textile looks like, or in the area where it complements. So I'm gonna play around with this a little bit and move this hue and saturation slider around and see what we come up with. So if not that way, we're gonna go negative, and actually that's not bad. So maybe we'll do one, like let's go this color, which isn't bad. We'll do this one. Bring up my hue and saturation again. Maybe we'll go there. That's actually much better, I like that. And then once more. And I'll see if I can kind of get the lighter shade. And if not, we'll just double up. So that's not too terribly bad either. So there we got our composition together. So I don't necessarily like all the three different colors here. If I were to change up a color, I would put the center color or the center graphic in my black and white, as to say that she's passed on, and have these two in color. But we're just gonna desaturate this all together. There we go. Are you just gonna leave it black and white? No, I'm not gonna leave it black and white. That much I promise you. So we got our photos here. So a couple different things that I can do. I can do a gradient map, and we can double click on that, and I can go down to my gradient maps, and we can go into my gradient maps, or Vintage Vibes gradient maps, and we can grab, do a nice earth tone, do this at a 90, and then we can kind of play around with them, right? Or another option that we have is to go into our individual pictures, and we can come up to image and over to adjustments and select color, and I can come over here and grab, so I think I'm gonna go with this blue. Let's go with this blue, bring up my hue and saturation again, and we're gonna work that out. So I'm gonna use the colors that are already in my textiles, and we're gonna rock it that way. So now, for the most part, we've got everything all dialed in. All we really want to do now is kind of tie in that 90s feel so that we can have an element of the 90s outside of the composition. We want to add another element of the 90s and the easiest way to do that is to add like a false underbase. When you had the 90s t-shirts, most of them were screen printed, and that's kind of what we're going to go for. So I want to change this once more. Grab this here. I want to make this a little larger. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. I want to fill in some of that negative space. Come over here, we'll bring this butterfly up a little bit, up and over. There we go. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna group everything together, grab my photos, scroll up to my top here, group everything together, and this is just gonna be my design. And what I wanna do is double click on that, and I want to do an inner shadow of like this off-white. I'm gonna change my angle to 135, and I'm gonna bring my distance way down to like 5, maybe 4, right around there. Zero size on my choke, zero size on my size. And now if you wanted to, you could do distressing and stuff like that, but I think I'm just gonna leave it as is. No distressing on this one. Yeah, we're gonna leave it just like that. So there you have it. That's my design and my take on a tribute with a 90s twist in honor of Dolly Parton. Hope you liked it. If you did, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. If you're looking to start your design journey, I've got a free Vintage Vibes starter pack for you. You're gonna get a ton of stuff, including textiles, textures, even design info, and a whole lot more. I'll link it in the description below. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.